Hello and welcome to the live stream. So excited. So today we are going to be making macarons. Thank you so much for all of you who've been waiting patiently. I've been watching the chat just go past. Hello to you all. Dave is here because the chat is going past too fast for me to read it while I cook. So Dave is also here.
Hi everyone.
So he's going to read through the chat and he will ask your questions as we go, because otherwise I'll just be staring at the screen the whole time and they're just whizzing past so fast that I can't read them all. But hello to everyone who is here live. It is very exciting. If you are baking along with me, then you will need to make sure you have your ingredients weighed out, and that is in the description below. So if you don't already have that, quickly run and get your icing sugar, almond meal, sugar and egg whites, and for the filling you need some chocolate and some cream. But if you don't want to make the filling, you could just make the shells. So 4 ingredients, super easy. Run and get them if you don't have them ready to go. Weigh them out. All of that is in the description below. Okay, so are you ready to start? It's very exciting. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with the ganache. I'm just going to turn this heater off because otherwise it's going to be a bit noisy, but it's freezing cold here. So I had the heater on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the ganache. So we've got chocolate here and we've got some cream. And what you want to do is pour your cream over your chocolate, and then we need to microwave that for about 30 seconds, stir it, 20 seconds, stir it until it's completely liquid. And then what you want to do is put that into a bag, and I usually put it in a bag like this, and then just spread it flat in the fridge so that we can then let that cool down quickly. I'm just going to call Dave in because I need to go and microwave this and the microwave isn't here. Dave!
Yeah?
Can you come and just talk to everyone? Have you got any chat comments that you can talk?
No, because they're all whizzing past so fast. So
if you go to live chat down the bottom, you can do it with your finger.
Yes, alright, no worries. Well, we're getting loads and loads of comments coming in, which is awesome. Hi to everyone. And we were reading some of them. There were people waiting for like 12 hours beforehand. It was kind of funny having conversations about their life and where they're from. So hi to all the people from Vietnam. We know the Vietnamese folks were there. Obviously lots of Filipino guys. G'day everyone. And g'day, that's how we say hello in Australia. So Ann's just off here doing some microwaving, and I'm currently right here doing a little bit of fill. So I wish I was good at telling jokes, but I'm not particularly good at telling jokes.
Oh, you are. You're funny. Have you got your phone?
Yeah, I've got my phone.
I'll show you how to see live chat and
yeah,
slow it down.
It's so small.
Yeah, no, but that's on the thing. If you go down the bottom on your phone and click on live chat, then you can see it down the bottom, and then you can slow it down.
Because it was like about 1.5. Okay, so Kaylee says, I was wondering what the easiest thing to bake is.
Easiest, if you go to one of the Tbsp recipes, there's lots of 3 ingredient things. So that's probably
the brownie,
the easiest.
The Nutella brownie, that was...
Or just the chocolate brownie recipe.
Chocolate brownie, that was good. That was the one where the kids had a food fight, so that was kind of fun.
That was so cute back then.
Okay, hi from London. Twiz Tip 94.
Hello.
Colourful Art says hi, I'm Australian, so am
Hi.
I. Okay, here we go. Here's Francisca Aguera Espinoza. I like your name. And your question just went, but it was about macarons, and it was saying, is there something that you can, what else can you fill macarons with?
Slide with your finger, you can slow the...
Yeah, it's gone. There's like 1 million comments. And just keep asking questions, we'll get to it. It's all good.
Ask it again.
So what do you love filling macarons with? What's your favourite thing?
My favourite thing, now if you have a look at this, we were going to have 2 cameras, but I was up till 1:30 last night trying to get it to work and it just won't work. So
and I was asleep on the floor.
They fell asleep next to me in the office. See how it's liquidy and lumpy? You just need to stir it until it comes together. What was the question again, sorry?
I don't know. What's your favourite thing to put inside macarons?
Oh, ganache, which is just the cream and chocolate. And you can flavour the ganache as well. So if you boil the cream up with something first, so like you can put some fresh mint leaves in there and boil the cream and then just leave it for about 15 minutes for that flavour to infuse through, and then you put the cream over the chocolate, then you have a flavoured ganache. Or you could not use cream, you could use like raspberries and boil them up and strain them and use that as the liquid in the ganache. Basically, if you go to any of the videos where I did chocolate truffle recipes and look at the different fillings that are ganache ones, you could use any of those inside your macarons, and they're really yummy.
There's a good one. What is the book name? A bit of shameless self-promotion from Emily. It's called The Deep Enders.
The Deep Enders is the novel that Dave wrote, and it is a really, really good book. It was lovingly over 2 years to write.
2 or 3 years.
And Dave's a journalist by trade, like that's what he's trained at, has worked at the biggest newspapers in Australia, and so he's a very good writer. So for him to take 2 years making it good, I just want the next one.
Someone just said they met us at the Cronulla book launch. You guys are messing with me because these comments are just going by like I can't stop it because there's all the new ones.
Yeah,
so
but you should be able to go slow.
I reckon if I scan down to older ones,
maybe.
then I can slow it down. But if I'm at the top,
there you go.
Right, okay.
He's got it sorted. Sorry, you have to forgive us. First live stream, still trying to figure out technology. So take your ganache that you've made. Let me know in the comments if you are cooking along, so I know whether to slow down for you or speed up for you. Once you've made your ganache and it's all smooth, pour it into the bag so that then you can use that to spread it out and increase the surface area of it so that it will cool down quickly. Because you can see it's really runny, but when the ganache cools down, it is going to set quite a lot firmer. So we'll just put that in the bag and then I'll show you what I mean. Just interrupt me if you can actually figure out how to
I got it figured out. Super Cutie says, what equipment do you recommend?
For depends what you're baking,
yeah,
Super Cutie.
You speak of me.
So spread this flat, all the way flat in the bag. The larger the surface area, the quicker it'll cool down. That's why we put it in a ziplock bag. Spread it out, and then you just want to put that flat in the fridge on the shelf, except for today I feel like I'm in a fridge because I'm so cold. So I'm just going to put that, I'll put it just down over here and we'll let it chill there for the moment, and then we'll get that back afterwards. So if it's hot where you are, if it's summer, put it in the fridge flat on the shelf so that it'll cool down quickly.
We've got a couple of people saying they don't have sound.
No sound. If you don't have sound, can you write no sound?
They said I've lost sound.
Oh, you've lost it, but you had it. Okay, if you have no sound, that's really important. Can you just, everybody write no sound if you have no sound, and we'll try and figure out what's going on. Nothing has changed with the setup.
What if they can't hear you?
That's a very good question. Then if you have sound, can you give us the thumbs up so we know that you have sound, and we'll try and figure out what's going on. Still no sound? Anyone else saying that? Or shall I continue?
Well, people are saying slow down, so they must have sound.
Good. Okay, we'll keep going and assume that you have sound. If you don't, I'm sure you'll keep letting us know in the comments anyway. Okay, so that's the ganache. Are you up to that? Hopefully you're up to speed. We'll do a couple of questions so people can catch up. Soon as some people have said, could I slow down for them? Yes.
Do your kids, Joselina says, do your kids get tired of eating sweets?
My kids don't get tired of eating sweets. What they don't like is when they come home and say, can we eat that? And I go, no, we're giving it away. That's always the disappointment, when we're giving it away and they don't get to eat it at all. Like the giant chocolate bars, we give those away. The giant Magnum though, they did get to eat. We had about 20 people over and we got through about half of the giant Magnum. So that's not, not very much. So then the families that were over, I cut massive chunks and sent it home with them because it was just so big. So unless you're feeding probably 50 people, I'd scale it down, make it a little bit smaller.
Nicholas says, I can hear you.
Oh, Nicola can hear me. Thank you, Nicola.
But Gitka says no sound. So there is sound. So it really seems to be depending on
who it is. I wonder if it's, you know what it could be, because we've had to swap to the old camera because the new camera wouldn't work. It'll be the headphones. So the old camera only puts sound in one side. So if they've only got one headphone working, they'll only get it. Can you let them know in the, can you type that in the thing so that they can let them know along the bottom?
Yep.
If it's not working for them, they can swap their audio. That's a bit of a pain, but good to know. Good problem solving. Do you need help? So if you click on here and then just go double tap, you should be able to, oh no, not that one. That's the people's little comments going up the side. That one. You should be able to edit it there so that then people will know. Okay, I'm assuming you've caught up with ganache. It was basically if you came late, you basically put the chocolate in the bowl, poured the cream over the top, microwaved it for 30 seconds stir, 20 seconds stir, and then we've just put it in a plastic bag and spread it out flat, and we're just leaving that to chill. As it chills, it will thicken up. Now, if you're somewhere hot, put it in the fridge. If you're somewhere freezing cold, like me, then just leave it out of the fridge for the moment. We can always put it in the fridge later. Okay, so on to the macarons. So what we're going to do is take your icing sugar, put that into a coarse sieve, and your almond meal, put that into the sieve as well. And then you just want to obviously sieve it through. Now, it's important that you have a coarse sieve here and not a fine one. I remember the first time I made macarons, in the comments we had people going, it took me an hour to sieve the almond meal and the icing sugar. I'm like, what is going on? How could it possibly take you an hour? And then I realised they were using a really fine sieve. Almond meal is quite coarse, so it's not going to go through if you use a really fine sieve. Now, what you will find is your almond meal will probably have some lumps in it, and they are not all going to go through, and it doesn't matter if they don't, because if you have all those little bits in, you're going to be able to see them. Your macarons won't look quite as smooth. So depending how fine your almond meal is, you may, if it's just a little bit that's left in the sieve like this, then you're probably fine, you can just chuck it. If it's a lot, if you've got a really coarse almond meal, you might want to put it in the blender and make it finer, or you might want to weigh out some more, like sieve it first and weigh it. But if it's just a little bit like that, just get rid of that bit. Pop that one over there. And so now you've got your icing sugar and your almond meal all done now. Are we good to move on? We've got that stage. We'll do another question while we wait, just to make sure everyone has that done.
Okay.
Assuming Dave has another question.
Yes. Hang on. Invite me next time you help eat it. I love Melbourne, says Mina.
Hi, Mina.
You said in another video that you do not have to let macarons sit to form a skin. Does that mean the minute you pipe them, they can go in the oven?
Yes, that's right. So with this recipe, if you're using a completely different recipe, then you'll need to test that yourself. But this is the recipe that I like and I always use, and I've tested it with, as soon as I pipe them, bang them on the bench, straight in the oven, perfect. If you leave them, like say you don't have an oven that has even heat, so like mine, I only bake one tray at a time. So one tray will go straight in, one tray will just sit on the bench, and they're both fine. Makes no difference whether it's sitting, not sitting.
George says, I have a gas oven. Do I need to preheat it?
Yes, everybody turn on your oven. That's very important. Thank you for that. Was that Gus?
George.
George, thank you, George. Okay, so you want to preheat your oven to 160 degrees centigrade, which is, someone let us know what that is in Fahrenheit?
350-ish?
No, it's not 350 because it's cooler than that.
Right.
Someone calculate that for me and let me know what that is in Fahrenheit. So it's 160 degrees centigrade, and we'll just wait 1 second and somebody smart will tell me in the comments what that is in Fahrenheit. And turn on your ovens, let them preheat so you can get it to the right temperature.
320.
320, thank you. 320 in Fahrenheit, 160 in centigrade. I had a friend once who never ever baked, and her and her mum decided to bake something, and they saw it had the two temperatures, the centigrade and the Fahrenheit, and they didn't know what that meant, so they baked it half at one temperature and half at the other. So if you're in Australia, your oven is probably in centigrade. If you're in the US, it'd be Fahrenheit. I don't know what other countries have it where. Singapore?
England is centigrade, I believe. Singapore is centigrade.
Is the whole world centigrade and just the US Fahrenheit?
Pretty much.
If you're not in the US and your oven's in Fahrenheit, let us know, because I have that impression that the US is just different to the rest of the world.
Fahrenheit, I assume, is a German word, so maybe Germany uses Fahrenheit.
Let us know what country you're in. Do you have centigrade or Fahrenheit where you are? Okay, so ovens are on, you've sifted your icing sugar and your almond meal. Now we need to whip our egg whites. You can do this by hand. but it's going to take you a while, or you can use a stand mixer or a hand mixer. It's going to be a little noisy, so I'll just talk over the top of it as we go. And you need to whip it up until it is thick enough that you can turn the bowl upside down without it falling out. So let's start whipping.
Micah says, have you ever burned yourself using the stove?
Have I burnt myself? Yes, I have, but not when I was baking. I don't know if you can still hear me over that. You might have to get Dave, do you want to whip it over there so it's not as noisy? Or can you still hear? It's just noisy when it's on there. I'll just hold it on. It's alright.
You're doing a great job.
I burnt myself when I was taking pizzas out of the oven. So I've got one burn mark here, and that's it. I haven't burnt myself other than that. But I like having oven gloves that are long, so they come up higher. And yeah, when I burnt that, I didn't have good oven gloves on. So you can have long ones on, that'll save you some time. Let me know in the comments if you're baking along and how you're going, what you're up to. I know some people are very excited to bake along at the same time, which is awesome. Nice, unique experience. It'd be good if I could have you all here in this kitchen. That would be fun if we could all bake together. I would like that. Might be a little bit full and a little bit noisy if all those chats were spoken out loud at the same time. It would be good fun.
Yeah, Yana Resuka says Fahrenheit remains the official scale for the Bahamas, Belize, the Cayman Islands, Palau, and the United States and associated territories. Thank you.
Right, so quite a few countries have it. Okay, so we have this, and we'll test that we can turn our bowl upside down, which we can. So then they are whipped, but what we want is a dry egg white. So we want to now keep whipping it for about another 30 seconds to a minute just to dry it out. So just turn your beaters back on.
Hey, we've got a super chat. Somebody who's made a donation. Tammy says, you're a favourite. Thanks for the great videos. Tammy's given $2. We should give super chat to charity.
We should. Thank you. I forgot to mention super chat. If you want to give to super chat, you can, but we won't be keeping the super chat money. We'll give that to a charity. So if you want to do that, you can. Otherwise, no pressure to do that. We're going to give the money away anyway. But thank you, Tammy. Appreciate that. So give this another 30 seconds to a minute just to dry out that egg white. Is anyone beating by hand? Like, it's going to take you a while if you are. It is certainly possible, but it will take a little while. This is the noisy bit of the recipe. I usually cut this sound out of when I'm doing how to cook that videos. I don't have the mixer sound so that you don't have to hear me talk over the top of it. Keeping on going, nearly there. See, it's looking a lot drier now. So it's starting to get a lot stiffer, a lot drier. That's what we're after. Okay, we'll turn that off.
Someone was asking, how did Ann meet Dave? But later, we'll do that.
How did I meet Dave? That's a really good question. Honey, can I give you those, please?
Yeah.
Thanks. What we thought we'd do with live, because we're actually going to do some live each week for the next couple of months. So midweek we thought we'd do a live stream, and we might change the time of day a little bit for those of you who can't do this time of day, because I know some of the people in Dublin, it's 1 in the morning right now, so we'll mix it around a bit.
I love Dublin. But
we'll do it midweek. And we thought each one will have a different topic. So we thought we might do like Australian animals one time and take you to see some cute little Australian animals and different stuff like that, because we can do it on the mobile phone and go live and go do some stuff. So let us know if there's anything you would like us to take you to in Melbourne or to show you or do, and then we can do that. So we'll do a relationships one as a topic one time, so you can ask all those questions about Dave and I, and I'll get Dave on camera for that too. Different stuff. I thought I might get Dave as well to do one on writing a novel, because obviously he has written a novel and he's a good writer, so we might do something like that. So if you have any things you would like, let us know and we'll do that. You know what I just realised? I don't have the sugar in the egg whites, and they need to be in the egg whites. So, can I please have my beaters back? This is what happens when I'm answering questions. Although usually I am cooking and at the same time shared or doing that sort of thing at the same time. Definitely usually operating the camera at the same time. Okay, add in your sugar. Normally add your sugar at the same time, put that in the right one, as you do your egg whites. I thought they whipped very quickly. Okay, usually I just put them all in together and do it at the same time. Okay, let's whip that through.
So Jenny C says, you are awesome. I made your Lightning McQueen cake for my son's 3rd birthday and it came out great. Thank you so much for making the templates available. So thanks, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny. That's my pleasure, no problem. Okay, that's good.
Someone's Meow Meow says we are so distracted by the text. You can actually turn that off, can't you?
Would you like the chat off?
Oh, no, there's only one comment, but
okay.
I think people probably
I can turn the chat off.
No, can they turn it off?
They can't turn it off, but I can from here. So let me know, do you want the chat off or on? We've got about a 30-second delay between your comments coming through. So let me know when Dave gets the yes, keep the chat on, or no, take the chat off the screen. Let me know, and then if you want it off, I'll turn it off for you. Easy, that's the advantage of life.
And we were definitely right on the sound. Pastry says I can only hear out of one speaker, so and the comments seem to. So it seems that people have worked it out. So that's good.
Yes, because this is our older camera. We had so much trouble last night. I was trying to get everything hooked up and working, and it wasn't working. And then at 1:30, I went, if I don't go to sleep, I'll be asleep for live in the morning.
Here's a great question from Abby Kadabi, real name. I've made macarons twice, and the first time they were great, but the second time all of them cracked. How can you help prevent cracking?
Prevent cracking. There's a few things that cause cracking, and that's a lot of it has to do with this next step. So I'll talk that through as we go. That's a good question though. Okay, so I want you now just to dump all of that icing sugar and almond meal in all at once. You don't have to do it slowly, just put it all in. I'm breathing in icing sugar. So is Dave. And then you want to fold that together. When you're first folding and you've got heaps of powder, what I want you to do is just sort of go across like this. Dave, can you zoom in on this? I wonder if you can. Let's see. He might not be able to because I've got it all sort of set up
I can
on a tripod.
Sort of zoom in. Yes.
Yes. And can you zoom in? Here we go. Cameraman Dave is going to be a cameraman now.
Yeah.
Is that working for you?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So you see how you've got lots of powder? What I want you to do first is go across like this and mix in some of that powder. Then fold around to the bottom. And then where you've got powder again, just sort of go across a little bit. And you want to do this just initially until you can't see any powder anymore. It just helps to mix it into your egg white. So very gently, and then scoop right down to the bottom. If you've got any powder there, just go across like that. Then scoop right around to the bottom again. See, we've still got powder. So just gently going across, scooping right around. Very important that you scrape off the spatula, because otherwise what happens is the stuff on the spatula gets over mixed. So just scrape it around again, and once you've got all the powder mixed in, then you just want to start folding it. So then we're not going to go across anymore. What we're going to be doing, just get that off the edge, is going right around to the bottom and folding it over. Right around to the bottom, fold it over.
Okay, so people are saying there's two lots of chat going up the side. The second lot, the larger one, is actually on individuals' devices. If you tap it, and there's a little dialogue box, a little white dialogue box, and you tap that, that will turn off that second one, which is distracting. So
right. Okay. So there's apparently two lots of chat going up the side, and if you can turn one off by how?
Tap on your screen.
Tap on your screen.
And then tap the white dialogue box, and that will get rid of it.
Tap the white dialogue box, and it'll turn off the second one. So are they happy for the other one to be on there?
Well, we'll find out. People,
okay.
It was about 50-50. Some people were having the issue, some people weren't, which is probably the case of some people had the second lot on their screen. So let us know if that's improved it for you.
Yes, all good. Okay, so what you want to do is then keep folding and keep folding. Now, at the moment, this is what I would call undermixed. It's still quite solid. Now, what happens if it's undermixed is it's going to look, when you bake it, it is going to crack. So I'll show you a picture here of the difference between undermixed good, and overmixed. So if it's overmixed, it just looks like it's liquid almost. If it's good, it should still hold its shape a bit. If it's undermixed, it's still very lumpy. And then if you have it like that, let me just go back to this one and show you what that looks like when they're baked. So see how the undermixed ones there are really cracked, and then the overmixed, that I've got overmixed written twice. The good ones in the middle, not the overmixed, they look good, and then the other ones on the other side, the overmixed ones, look very flat. They have no foot at all, if that makes sense. Okay, so hopefully that helps, and you can see how that is working. So then what you want to do then if it's undermixed is obviously just keep folding. So again, make sure you're wiping off the spatula off on the side, because if you don't, what's here is going to be overmixed, and that can cause cracking as well if you've got uneven mixing. So always make sure you're scraping down the side of your bowl really well, keep it clean, and then scoop right to the bottom and fold it over. When I first did a macaron video, I said to fold it 30 times because that's what worked for me, and then people would go, I folded it 30 times and it wasn't mixed, or it was mixed, or it. So now I'm going, okay, you need to look at your mixture and see when it's ready, rather than just doing a set number of folds, because it will depend on how fresh your egg whites are, how much you fold each fold, how diligently or how hard or soft you do it. So when you're looking at that now, you can see when you put the mixture on top, it's a bit like what they would, some people describe it as lava. So it's liquid, but it's still got some form to it, and it's melding back down into itself. That is good and ready to go. Okay, so how much you mix it makes a big difference. If you're new to making macarons, then I suggest that you make a batch, pipe some of it when it's just mixed in, fold it some more, put it in a piping bag, pipe some of that, keep folding it, pipe some of that, so that then you get a feel for what it should look like, because then when they bake you can go, oh okay, that was undermixed, that was overmixed, and then you'll get a feel for it really quickly. If you don't have anyone to assist you holding a bag, then a jar or a vase is really helpful. If you don't have a piping bag or a tip, you can just use a plastic bag. Just a ziplock bag will do, and you don't need to cut it before you fill it, then you can cut it afterwards. But if you've got a piping bag, you can use that. Any questions?
Yes, Sarah Block says, how do I stop hollow shells?
Hollow shells, yes, that is a big problem that a lot of people have. Hollow shells are caused by the middle not being cooked when they're taken out of the oven. So taking them out of the oven too soon means that that middle is then just going to drop. So you end up with the top shell was cooked, but it wasn't cooked in the middle. So that can happen either by taking it out too soon or opening the oven lots of times to check them, which lets the oven temperature drop, which lets the middles drop. So that's the main cause of that. Okay, take your mixture and tip it in. Did you have another question there?
Oh, well, Jade Smith just says, are you making a Spider-Man cake?
Am I making a Spider-Man cake? We have a Spider-Man cake. I have a 3D Spider-Man. If you go to the actual how to cook that channel page, so if you just click on the actual, under any video it says the channel name, like it will say how to cook that. If you click on that, it takes you to the channel page, and then just to the right hand side under the tabs of video and all that, there's a magnifying glass. If you click on search, then you can type in Spider-Man, you will find the Spider-Man cake. Okay, so grab your mixture. What you want to do with the top of your piping bag is bring it in together and then give it a little turn if you've got room, because that way it will stop coming back out the top. Now you want a tray, if I can reach my tray.
Can you use the microwave to cook macarons? No,
you need an oven. It's got to be consistent temperature or they don't work. Okay, so to pipe these, what we need to do, piping bag over the top, put it like that, squeeze, and then to move it so that it doesn't just go everywhere, you do a little circle. Because if you don't do the little circle, you end up with like a gloop of macaron mixture. So you just do a little circle like that. So squeeze back. So if you've overmixed it, you're going to have to do another one. If you are still learning and need some more practice, then I suggest using just like divide the recipe by 4 and just make 1/4 of the recipe using 1 egg white, so that you can practice and you're not wasting a whole batch. So that's a good thing to do there. Okay, we're going to get noisy again for a second.
Lots of people saying it's lagged, it's stopped.
It's stopped. Okay, it says here that we are on low, but it doesn't say we're stopped. Let me just check.
Frozen, stopped.
I'll just hold and wait until we go back up. Now it's saying 0 kilobytes a second.
Awesome.
That is not good. It's still saying 0, Dave. Any suggestions on what to do if we have no internet connection at all? It looks like the phone has frozen. Oh no, the phone is all good.
Do you want me to run it out and try and get...
No, because this is saying the phone is working. No, yes, low battery. We need to plug the phone in. Do you want to
use mine?
No, I can't swap internet connection.
Okay.
No, you can't take it away.
Right.
Can you grab a phone cord or the mobile phone charger out of my bag? Okay, we are hotspotting off the phone and it is about to run out of batteries. So we will get that sorted in just 1 second. Good to know. Dad has run to get the charger and we will get it charging, and then hopefully we will not be lagging anymore and we'll get everyone back online, because it's currently saying that we have very low stream. So he will be here any second. I wish we had awesome internet in Australia. It was actually better where we were in Sydney than it is here in Melbourne. If you have terrible internet and you can relate, let us know. We're supposed to be getting NBN, but our area is not. Can you plug it in over here?
Okay.
Here we go. Hopefully that fixes it. Alright. Unplug this one. Okay, let's see. We're at 1%. And the stream is going back up. Yay! Okay. We'll give it a second to stabilise. It's gone back down again. I can see on my thing how much it's sending through. Okay, we should be stable again now. I think that we're good. So the problem was that we're hotspotting off the phone and the phone was running out of charge. Okay, so once you have that all piped out, what you need to do, this is a really important step. If you don't do this, the macarons will crack for sure and they will look bad. You have to wrap the tray on the bench. So go like this and hard, 3 times, turn it, and then turn it again. Sorry if you've got headphones in. And then turn it the last way. Okay, what that does is it gets all of the air bubbles out, it helps smooth off the tops, and it just, getting those air bubbles out just stops it from cracking. So you must do that step. If you forget that step, you will have cracked macarons, which is not good. And then you can just pop those straight in the oven, as we talked about before. You don't need to leave them to form a skin, just put them straight in the oven at the middle of the oven. Now my oven doesn't have the heat isn't perfect all the way through. If you have an amazing oven, you can probably do 2 trays at once, but my oven will only do 1 tray at a time. So pop that in the oven. And while that's baking, you can do pipe your next tray. Here we go. So pipe this one on. Again, just hold it lower, push and turn as you go. So push and around, push and around. There we go. That is all good. And push down and around and pipe them on. So this tray, as I said, my oven can only bake 1 tray at a time. So what we're going to do with this tray is we're going to do the banging it on the bench, and then we're just going to leave them until the other tray is ready. Take the other tray out and put this tray in. The other thing that can help if you have really uneven oven temperature is if you have one of these trays. I'll show you in 1 second. If you have a tray like this one, which actually has 2 layers, so it's got a layer of metal, then a gap of air, and then another layer of metal, that can help just make the heat a bit more even around the oven. If you're not sure if your oven bakes unevenly, just bake a normal tray of cookies and you'll see if one's burning over here and one's not cooked over here. Your oven's not very even. Sorry. There's no quiet way of doing this. It's the trouble with live, I can't edit out loud sounds. And then you can just leave those ones to wait till the other ones are cooked. Okay, I'll just pop those ones over here.
Ashley Uman
Yes.
says, can you make nut-free macarons?
Yes, I have a recipe for nut-free macarons. They're not technically macarons because they don't have the almonds in them, but they do look the same and they taste good. And if you have a look, it's a really old recipe, but it replaces the macarons with white chocolate, but I've adjusted the sugar levels to adjust for the amount of sugar that's in the white chocolate, and the basically trying to get the protein and everything that you need from the almonds by replacing that and adjusting all the other levels. So if you go to the channel, so click on how to cook that below the video, and then along the bar where it has videos and everything, click on search and type in nut-free macarons, and you'll find the recipe there.
MCC says, did you go to college?
Did I go to college? Now, if you're from America, I'm not sure what college is called there or called, it's all different in every country.
University.
So in Australia we have school goes to year 12, and then you can go on and go to university. So I went obviously school to year 12, and then I went to university and studied, I did a degree in nutrition and food science, and then I did a postgraduate in dietetics to become a dietitian, and worked as a dietitian for many years. So I didn't study, in doing food science, you do a lot of experiments with food and learn a lot about food. They don't teach you things like how to cook macarons, but you learn a lot about what all different ingredients do and what their role is. And the main reason they teach you that is not so that you can cook, but so that you can come up with things like nut-free macarons. So if you have, as a dietitian, if you have a patient who can't have something because they're allergic to it, so that you can make other things for them, or you can teach them other alternatives and come up with other recipes for them that they can use.
What are your kids up to?
What are my kids up to? A friend of ours is actually here from Sydney, and they've actually gone to the chocolate factory to have some chocolate, so they will be back soon. I think that actually one of them may not be there, one of them may be asleep. Is that true, Dave?
That is true.
Our oldest James is asleep. Oh dear. We've got one more question and then I'll show you that.
Love to Cook says, how can we get how to cook that merch? Oh, there's a Dorothy Dixer.
That's a very good question, and I am not allowed to tell you in this video, but I will tell you in future videos. We are actually working on some new merch at the moment. We had an old merch supplier who I was using for the t-shirts, and I found, living in Australia, that the postage was ridiculous. Like when you clicked on it, the postage would cost more than the shirt cost itself, and that just doesn't work. So it took me a long time to find someone else who actually had decent postage worldwide. And so finally I found someone who actually has multiple shipping locations that they ship from. So if you order over a certain amount, the shipping is free. And when I first did a test one, when they contacted me about, we'd like to do your merch, I ordered something from their site to see what it was like, and it said free shipping, and I thought, yeah, when I get to check out and type Australia, it's going to go up to $50 shipping like it normally does. But no, it stayed free. It was free shipping, so that was very exciting. So I've actually got samples in my office right now, and we're just making some adjustments.
I'll just go get them.
No, you're not allowed to shop anyone. You can't get them. But yes, soon we'll have some merch that ships free over a certain amount worldwide, which is exciting.
And Sakurai, it says, can macarons be made less sweet?
Not really, no, because the shells need that amount of sugar in them. So the way to make them less sweet would be to make the filling less sweet, because the ganache itself is quite sweet. So if you want to make your macarons less sweet, then you'd need to, I've used just straight plain whipped cream in the middle between them. If you're going to do that, they will absorb the moisture out of the cream. So you can only fill them right before serving. If you're filling them with ganache, you can fill them and put them in the fridge or the freezer and then bring them out the next day and they'll be fine, they'll be perfect. But if you're going to use a moist filling like that, you have to do it just before you serve and do it that way. they're not super sweet, the shells, it's more the filling is very sweet. So yeah, change the filling. Some people say to make it taste less sweet, add some salt in it, but if you're actually after less sugar, that obviously makes no difference whatsoever. So I'm just going to show you a quick clip of the macarons cooking, what they look like cooking in the oven. Now obviously I have filmed these ones earlier so that I could speed them up and show you what this looks like. So when they're actually cooking, you'll see they will actually rise up and you get that little thing called the foot around the bottom, and then they will sort of sink back down a little bit, and that's what they need to do. So a lot of people, once they're risen up and the top is firm, they think that's it, they're done, and that's when they take it out, and then you get the hollow shells, which is an issue. So that's obviously, you don't want hollow shells on your macarons, that's not going to work. So I'll show you how you test if they're done. They'll take about 15 minutes in the oven, or about 16 in my oven. So you need to have your timer on, and then at about 15 minutes you can start checking them. So the way to check them is you want to open the oven super quickly, because if you open it for too long, you're going to let all that heat rush out. So just open it super quickly, just gently press on the top of one of your macarons. If they've still got a bit of a wiggle in them, then the inside is still liquidy, it's not cooked. Whereas if they are firm, it's all good. So I've filmed that earlier so I can show you what that looks like. So this is what it looks like if they're not done. So you see, this is what I do. I just open the oven and then just press on the top. See how that's got wriggle to it? That means the inside's still liquid. So if I was to take it out at that stage, that inside would just drop to the bottom, and then you'd have hollow macarons, which is no good at all. So then if we have this one, this is once they're done. So this was only like 4 minutes later, and it's completely done. They're firm. You can take those out of the oven and then just let them cool. So how are you guys going? I want to know, does anyone have macarons in the oven? Do I need to wait for anyone who has got them in the oven? Let us know in the comments, and it's a bit of a pain because I've got to wait. We've got that lag of waiting for you to reply, but let me know, and I'll grab these ones that I cooked yesterday for you. So these ones have been cooked and cooled so that I can show you the next step, because otherwise it's going to take a long time. Obviously, 1 for them to bake, 2 for them to cool. So once you've checked if they were cooked, I might just move some of this stuff over to the side. Honey, are you able to clear some of those for me? That would be amazing. If you were here, I'd ask you to give Dave a round of applause, because he is the best husband in the world, and I love him to bits. He's amazing.
Very nice.
I'll put that one in there too.
Lots of people are asking, when did you start cooking, and what was the first thing that you cooked?
What was the first thing I cooked? That's a good question. I don't actually remember, because I have been cooking for so long. Like when I was little, I just loved baking, because Mum always had this thing of we couldn't have any soft drink, we couldn't have lollies. If we had chocolate, it had to be carob, which as a dietitian, carob is just the same for you as normal chocolate. It's actually got the same amount of sugar in it, same amount of fat in it, it's just a different type of fat, so it's not a healthy alternative by any means. So by baking, that meant that we actually got to have some sweet food, and everyone in the house loved it if I baked something. So, and Mum quite liked baking with us. So it was one of those things on the weekends that often would go, can we make some Anzac biscuits, or can we make something like that? And so we'd often be baking, and I'd like just sitting there watching it bake in the oven and watching it rise. We didn't have, which this is crazy, but everyone else had, but we didn't have a TV until I was in about grade 4 at school. So baking was a good thing to do to entertain yourself, and me and my sister would just make up games, and I think that's what made us creative, because my sister's very creative too. She's a primary school teacher, and she comes up with amazing lessons for her students, and I think just because we were bored a lot. Being bored makes you come up with ideas. You can't just turn on a device and watch a video. If you've actually got to come up with an idea yourself, that can make you quite creative. If parents are watching though, your kids will not appreciate you saying, I'm going to make you bored to make you creative. That won't be fun. All right, Dave, is anyone waiting for their macarons to cook, or are we good to move on?
Well, they're not saying if they are. Jessica Goff has asked like 10 times where can she get the book in Melbourne.
Oh, where can you get the Deep Enders in Melbourne, Dave? Which bookstores have it?
From
Dimmicks?
Yeah, from Dimmicks, or from online.
Or you can get it online. So Amazon has it online, but if you go to Dimmicks, if they don't have it on the shelf, you can ask them to order it in, because we have a distributor in Australia. So actually most bookstores should be able to order it in from the distributor. So if you just say The Deep Enders by David Reardon, then they should be able to call it up on their computer and order it in.
And Hardeep says, how did you get your name for your channel?
How did I get the name of the channel? Because everyone used to ask me when they'd come over for dinner and then we'd have dessert and they'd go, can you show me how to cook that? And then I would have a group of some young ladies over who were from the church that we went to, who said, can you show us, can we actually come over and bring ingredients and you show us how to cook? So that's what we did. We had great fun, like just laughing together, and then they'd all go home with some amazing dessert back to their house because they all made one each, and they'd take it home. So it just started from there, and I didn't know that it was going to become a big thing. So I didn't really think it through as to what would be a really good channel name. It was just, I started the website first. I didn't know YouTube channels existed, and I uploaded a video so that I could put it on my website. So that's how the channel started. So there was no big thought into what would be a great name. It was literally people asking me, can you show me how to cook that? So that's what we did. I'll keep answering questions, but first of all, let me show you what I'm doing, and I'll do it while I answer questions. So once your macarons are cooled, what you want to do is you'll notice some of them are slightly bigger and some of them are slightly smaller. If you want to, you can print out a macaron circle template, and I have one of those on the website you can download and print to help you get them all the same size. But still you're going to have some slight variation. So what you want to do then is take 2 shells and see if they fit together. That one fits. So if they fit together, then you put them one down, one up, so that you can pipe the filling on that one, and that now is the lid for that one. So let me find 2 that don't match. So we'll go for a smaller looking one and a bigger looking one. This is what you want to avoid, because obviously that doesn't look good and it's not going to work. So then you look for another smaller one, and you go, those 2 match. So those 2 look good together. So they become your next one in your line. So you just keep doing that and lining the ones that are the same sort of shape up, so that you've got them paired, ready for when we're going to fill them. So I can answer some more questions while I do that, because that will just take me a little second.
Miscellaneous Misha says, will you ever make a physical recipe book? I know recipes are already on your blog, but a book would be cool.
I have thought about it, but I thought all of the recipes are on the website typed out already. I don't know if it's something that needs to be done. For me personally, if I'm at the shops, I look up my own recipes online for the ingredient amounts. I like it all being online. So I'm not sure about that.
Do you want me to zoom in a bit on that?
If you want to, that would be cool. I think we have kids home.
Kids just got back. There you go. Somebody asked if we could zoom in, so your wish is our command.
There we go. Do you want to say hi to Jetty? Jetty, you want to come say hi? Hello. Can you see Jessica?
I'll zoom back. Here's little Jetty.
Can you wave? How was the chocolate factory?
Good. Is this on camera?
It is on camera. We're nearly finished, but not quite.
Do you want to come?
Oh, sorry, it's a pinch long.
That's okay, we're still going, but
you are on camera right
you know,
now.
we're live. Dom, come in and say hi to everyone. This is our friend from Sydney.
Hi! And Matt's here as well. You want to say hi, Matt?
Come on, give me a high five, man.
Okay, I've just got to fill these macarons. Did you want to go with Maddie? Maybe play basketball for a second?
No?
Okay.
Come on, Jed.
Okay, Dom, do you want to go?
Keep watching.
All good.
And keep subscribing.
Okay, so you just need to pair those ones. They're like that. And then once you've got them, see that one doesn't quite match, so I'll find one that's a little bit better. There. So once you've got them there like that, we just want to fill those. So we'll find that ganache. Okay, mine is still a little bit runny, so it probably could have gone with going in the fridge, but it will do. The way I like to get it all to one side of the bag, I'll just move this, give myself a bit of room, is use a rolling pin and then just roll it, and it pushes it all to one end of the bag again instead of it all being down, spread out. Okay, now you could put this into a piping bag or you can just use it just like this. But I'm going to need some scissors, David. You want to pass there? Should be behind you in that drawer right there.
And somebody is asking, what's the biggest mistake you ever made, or the biggest fail has been? People like to see failure, obviously.
Biggest fail, I reckon that's the question we get at every meet and greet we do is how many times do you make your cakes and what are your biggest fails? So cakes I make once. I make them on camera and you see me make them. I don't make them more than once. They're too big and they take too long to make. If I'm developing a new recipe, so like the giant chocolate bars, I'm trying to make it taste like the actual bar. So I'll buy the bar and I'll dissect it into the different parts and taste it and do like mini versions of the recipe to just get it just right. And so the biggest fail we had was when I was making the giant Snickers. I had it all sorted of this is the ingredients on the caramel, this is the temperature it needs to be, and then it's that perfect gooey consistency when you bite it. And then what happened, because I scaled it up huge, is when I took it off the heat, it didn't cool down fast like it did when I was making a mini amount. So then it continued to get hotter and it just went solid. Like it wasn't completely solid, but it was just way too hard. It wasn't Snickers consistency. So then I just phoned a friend and said, do you want to pick up a failed giant Snickers? And they're like, yes, sure I do. So that was super exciting for them. So they took that and then I remade the whole giant Snickers a second time. So, but usually I think that's the only one that I've remade twice. Usually everything else, if something doesn't work, I'll just film it and tell you why it didn't work or what I'd do differently next time. I don't do it all again. So I just come up with an idea, film it and hope that it works, because that's what you're getting for your video. Okay, so this ganache is still a bit runny. Normally I would keep this in the fridge for a bit longer and let it go firmer. But what you would do if it was firm enough is just put some, starting in the middle, and then do a circle around like that. There it is, because it's still a bit runny. And then put the lid that you've matched with it on top there like that. Now you can put those in a sealed container in the fridge, or some people say you can store them in the freezer for up to a month. In our house, they just get eaten. So I just have people over and they all get eaten. So then there is no need to put it in the freezer. So I've never actually tested putting them in the freezer. And then that is how you do your macarons. I really need this to be firmer. Because it just needs to go in the fridge for a little while. But it tastes good. Tastes really creamy and really chocolatey.
Someone's asking, are you going to VidCon Australia?
I am going to VidCon Australia. I'm one of the featured creators this year at VidCon in Melbourne. So if you are coming, make sure you come and find me and say hi. I'm actually just talking to them at the moment about organising a meet and greet while we're there. So make sure you put your name down for the meet and greet with me, and that'd be great. I'd love to see you there. Well, I think that about wraps it up for today. Yeah, they're going to slide off because the ganache is not firm enough. It needs to be firmer. So I probably should have put it in the fridge. I feel like I'm in a fridge, as I said, but this needs to be a little bit firmer than that. I just have, yeah, no, it's just too runny. It needs to go in the fridge. And then, yes, do you want to see Dave eat one? And then we might let you guys go.
And can you do it, someone's asking, can you do it with vegan ingredients?
Well, I have actually done, there you go.
I get that. So my YouTube channel is How to Eat That.
How to eat that.
Coming soon.
I have done with the, you know, the aquafaba, and you can use that to whip it up. If you use that just to make a meringue, it's too strong a taste, it doesn't work. But I have actually made macaron shells with it before, and it does work, which really surprised me because I thought they were going to fail terribly, but they did actually work. So that's the, if you get the white beans in a can, the juice from that, and you whip that up. I'll have to look up quantities of that, but if you look it up, you'll probably see vegan macarons, and it did actually work. So you can give that a go. Well, we're going to let you go. How was it? As I've said before, Dave doesn't really like sweet stuff, so if he gets a thumbs up, we're all good. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was lovely to actually have some conversation live. Hopefully we'll iron out some of the other issues and technical problems we have. As I said, let me know in the comments if there's anything you would like us to take you to or show you around Melbourne, and we will do that too. So subscribe to How to Cook That, make it a great week, and I'll see you on Friday.
Bye.
And